It's a great day for the New York Mets. It's even a better day for our fans. It's my pleasure to introduce you to Max Scherzer.
There we go.
You ever look at your person and think to yourself, wow, how did I land you?
Love the Mets. All right, baby.
Max Scherzer's a New York Met. Starling Marte, Mark Canha, and Eduardo Escobar are also New York Mets. Nick Plummer, too. 2 years ago, a Rick Porcello signing could get me out of bed in the morning. So, as of today, I'm kind of just vibing and taking it all in. Now that the parents are fighting again and Dad's pretty much a war criminal, I'm out here trying my best to hang on to pretty much every positive I can find. And the New York Mets spending a boatload of money is kind of the perfect thing to help me cope with reality right now. The Big Four, sorry Nick, had their introductory press conferences via Zoom this past Wednesday. I love how unique each of their backdrops were for these. Canha looks like he was at a vineyard, Marte looks like he was at his local Starbucks, Scherzer and Boris sounded like they were coming to you live from a wind tunnel, and Escobar looked like he was the dean of students at NYU, just judging by the wall behind him. I guess that's Dr. Escobar for you. Back in January, I posted a video with my reaction to the Mets acquiring Francisco Lindor. It was the first and really only time I've ever done a video unscripted, and based on the feedback I got from that video, it seemed like you guys really liked the informal style. With my own life being kind of crazy right now, and the fact that, I went to a different state to make my last video, I think it's the perfect time for another one of these laid-back commentaries. But if you don't really care about my reaction and honest thoughts about these moves, YouTube kindly removed the dislike button, so it looks like you're just going to have to deal with it. I did hear that they also added a feature that prevents you from closing the video until you've watched the entire thing. Don't test it for yourself, though. You're just going to have to take my word on that. So Max Scherzer's on the Mets. That's a pretty surreal thing to say. Actually, his 3-year contract was announced exactly 1 year and 1 day after the release of the Meet the Wilpons doc. It would have been pretty insane if it landed exactly on the 1 year, but this is pretty cool too. It's literally the next best thing. Imagine telling someone in 2019, or even when that video was posted last year, that in the insane timeline that is our current reality, Blue Jays legend Steven Matz would piss off the owner of the Mets so badly that he'd tell Billy Epler to go hand out the largest contract by AAV to a 37-year-old pitcher just to feel something again. The Mets will be paying Max Scherzer more in 2022 than the Pittsburgh Pirates, the Baltimore Orioles, and the Cleveland Guardians will be paying their entire Major League rosters. I think I even said the same thing about the Guardians and Lindor's salary in January's video. Cleveland can change their name all they want, but the only thing they'll ever be guarding is Paul Dolan's wallet. The big headline here is that Max Scherzer and Jacob deGrom are now in the same rotation and are one of the best top twos for any rotation ever. Scherzer and deGrom have consistently been the best two pitchers in baseball for the past few years. I'm not sure the Mets are a playoff team yet, but it's still really fun to imagine how a 7-game series plays out where a healthy deGrom and a healthy Scherzer are pitching 4 of those. It just doesn't seem fair. Imagining those two playing for the same side and feeding off of each other all year is just so exciting. The Mets have had more multiple Cy Young Award winners in franchise history pitch for them at any one point in time than any other franchise ever. That was already the case before they signed Scherzer, and he only adds to that lead. They've actually had the last 3 duos of multiple winners on their opening day roster. Not like those things really mean anything at all, but I thought they were fun things to learn. From Austin on Twitter, deGrom and Scherzer have at least close to as many 10-plus strikeout games since 2018 than the entire pitching staffs of the Phillies, Marlins, and Braves. Scherzer won 3 Cy Youngs in his first 13 Major League seasons and still put up the lowest ERA for a single season in his career last year at age 37. I am being 100% genuine and completely unironic when I tell you that I'm fully expecting his arm to fall off, or for him to catch the bubonic plague, or to slip on a banana peel and break his spine at some point before his first spring training start next year.
Oh yeah!
But the fact that he was as good as he was last year at age 37 does calm my anxieties a little bit, but not fully. The biggest question I have on my mind is, what happens to the Mets offense in games where Scherzer's starting on the mound? If they wind up giving him run support, Jake's probably going to feel really crappy after getting historically bad run support his entire career. If they don't give him run support, it's not even like Max is going to get the chance to do it himself, since the universal DH is likely coming next year. although that might actually be a good thing. I'm definitely curious to see how it all plays out. Now, it might be because I'm still in shock about the Scherzer signing, but I think I'm just as excited about Starling Marte. He instantly brings something to that team that they haven't had much of for years, and that's a top-tier ability to steal bases. Marte's averaged 32 stolen bases since 2019. Last season he stole 47, whereas every single Met on the roster stole 54 combined. Base running is something the Mets haven't done all that well in years, so that alone is pretty exciting. Combine that with a solid bat and glove, a veteran presence, and the fact that he's coming off of a season with a career-high OPS+, I'm really looking forward to see him tear his hamstring in spring training. Put on a show in Queens. Force of habit, I guess. And he's apparently been dying to play with Robinson Cano, so that should make for some good... I genuinely forgot he was on the team. Mark Canha and Eduardo Escobar both look like good signings too. Canha's a great on-base guy with some pop, he walks a lot, and he gets hit all the time, so he'll fit right into that lineup. Escobar had his first All-Star season last year. He was an above-average hitter by OPS, and if you look on Baseball Savant, had he played at Citi Field all year instead of Chase Field, he would have put up a 38-homer season. Last year, the Mets hit the 6th fewest home runs in baseball, so it looks like they made each of these big moves to help alleviate a past weakness of theirs. Spending money is good, but spending money with a purpose is great. To anyone upset with Steve Cohen for throwing money around like this, and I have seen a good amount of you online, I want to make sure I reiterate the counterpoint I've seen. Any single owner in baseball could do exactly this if they wanted to. It's simply their choice not to. If you happen to be one of these people, I think you really need to think it through again because you're not blaming the right party. Of course, the Lindor trade and extension last offseason was really special, and it was the kind of franchise redefining move I was expecting, but handing out the most expensive contract ever to a pitcher no one ever thought in a million years would pitch for the Mets might just be the straw that broke the camel's back. It might take a while to get rid of every last dysfunctional piece from that last regime, but the Mets are headed down a completely different path. Money talks, and this franchise doesn't seem like it's going to be silent anymore. From here on, I guess, there really is no free agent in Major League Baseball who's off limits to the New York Mets. And it doesn't matter how many bones they might break or muscles they might tear before their first start, because all that matters is the money the team spent and the friends they made along the way. So those were my bi-yearly thoughts on the New York Mets. Figured it would be more uplifting to talk about that than the current state of baseball. If any of you are in distress about that right now and need someone to talk it through with, my DMs on Twitter are always open. That'll be all from me. I hope you guys stay safe and have a wonderful holiday, and I'll see you next time. You know, with the dislike button gone, I'm kind of feeling extra edgy today. This expanded playoff crap doesn't actually sound that bad.